Hello and welcome back to the final part of Summerslam, part 3, the finale of Summerslam. We are kicking things off with a huge Hell in a Cell match with some big stipulations in this one. But before I start talking to you about them, make sure to leave a huge thumbs up on this video, a big old like, because this is the final part of SummerSlam and we are now about to go on the road towards Survivor Series. Next up we'll have Clash of Champions, our next big pay-per-view, but make sure to give us a like, subscribe so you don't miss anything else coming up, and leave a comment below to let me know what your favourite match of SummerSlam has been. That would be amazing. All of it really helps grow this channel. But back to the action at hand. Baron Corbin has been on a rampage on Monday Night Raw ever since losing out on the WWE Championship at the very first pay-per-view of Universe Mode Backlash. He has been manic. He has been destroying people left, right and centre, and Batista, the general manager of Raw, has finally had enough of Baron Corbin's antics. And while this match was agreed upon, this match is a contract match. Whoever leaves this match, the loser, is no longer contracted to Monday Night Raw. Whether that be in Batista as the general manager, or whether that be Baron Corbin in his performer's contract, the contract will be null and void. They will no longer be allowed to appear on Monday Night Raw again. So this match has high stakes in it for these two men. Batista going straight for the weapons, perhaps knowing that he needs these extra weapons to be able to get past Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, of course, a very dominant member of the Raw roster, causing all this chaos with his end of days. He just hits people with multiple end of days and that's it. And these multiple super kicks right now instead to Batista, not necessarily what you'd expect from Corbin right now. Batista going for that kendo stick. Because Batista, this is his first proper match. He had a warm-up match on Raw, but this is his first proper match here in Universe Mode, and he hasn't wrestled in a long old time, has Batista, so it's going to be interesting to see whether he can keep up with Baron Corbin in this one. Baron's got hold of the kendo stick now with the reversible. Batista getting it back, slamming into Baron Corbin, just hitting over his back, not caring about the damage that he's doing. Well, I guess caring about the damage because he wants to do even more damage to Corbin. Wail him down early on in this. The longer this match goes on, the worse it's going to get for these opponents. The Hell in a Cell match is absolutely brutal, is the place the feuds end. And this is definitely going to be the end of these two ways. Saying Batista choking out Baron Corbin with that kendo stick in the corner. My goodness. Oh, slamming and really going with that kendo stick. That kendo stick is just the weapon of the match so far. Of course, we do have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up in 2 pay-per-views. Next up we will have Clash of the Champions, and then it will be Hell in a Cell, and then Survivor Series, the Battle of the Brands. And well, will Batista still be GM by the Battle of the Brands? And oh my goodness, a huge spear by Batista, taking Corbin down. Batista telling Corbin to get up, but Corbin not being able to get to his feet straight away. Batista throwing Corbin to the outside, not going for the pinfall, knowing that he's going to have to do more damage to Baron Corbin if he wants to get the big victory. Oh, Baron getting knocked off the apron into the steel cell on the outside. Now Batista and Baron going towards the outside. Throwing him down onto the floor, and I think his head managed to catch the ring corner just there. Baron Corbin getting a reversal. Batista up against that steel cage. Oh, slammed head first by Baron Corbin into that steel cell. Goodness, and now Batista getting his payback on Baron Corbin, slamming him in there, and now just planting all these punches onto Baron Corbin. Wait a second, what is Batista thinking here? Batista, oh my goodness, powerbombing Baron Corbin through the steel cell. Oh, they have escaped the Hell in a Cell. What is Batista thinking here? Batista climbing, making his way up to the top of Hell in a Cell, it looks like. Oh my goodness, this is definitely a blood feud between these two, isn't it? Batista now trying to get Baron Corbin, goading him to follow him up to the top, and Baron Corbin, well, he's taking that, he doesn't care. My goodness, this is so high up. This is not where you want to be in this kind of match. Batista, Baron Corbin. Oh, wait a second. I was worried. Wait a second, no. Batista, no. No. Oh my goodness. Ah! Baron Corbin. We need to get medics out here right now. Oh my goodness. Batista just power bombed. Batista bombed even. Baron Corbin off the top of the Hell in a Cell through the announce table down there, and you gotta be. We need medics out. This match can't continue. That's too much. It's too much right now. Baron Corbin just not even moving right now, and Batista celebrating on top of the cage. Looks like Baron somehow getting back to his feet, and this man is crazy. He is making his way back to the top of the Hell in a Cell once again. What on earth is he thinking to go back up again after just being thrown off the top like that? Power bombs off the top. Like, his neck must be in pieces, and Batista catching Baron Corbin and slamming him down. Just look at the way his body is contorted right now. It's not a way that a normal body should be moving. Like this. But Baron Corbin just needs to stop. This could be the end of his career if this keeps going on. Oh my goodness, and he's now fighting on the top of the Hell in a Cell. This is not good at all. Batista definitely found a way to do damage to Baron without even having to worry about Baron getting damage back to him. Playing these mind games, getting Baron Corbin out to Hell in a Cell and then just tossing him off like that. Goodness, you think it's the GM. You have all of these people who work underneath you. You think you'd have a better care for them. Whoa, okay. Spinebuster, and the entire top just gave out, Baron Corbin falling through the top of that Hell in a Cell, and Batista holding on for dear life. They're two tall, large men. I'm not surprised that the roof gave out, but Batista saying some final words to Baron Corbin, and Batista won. Corbin's got to be done, but both of these men right now not looking in a good place. For Corbin, he's got to be done. He's been through so much punishment. 1, 2. But Batista is still the general manager of Monday Night Raw, but I don't necessarily know what I think about him after this. He really took it to Baron Corbin, really treated him like a piece of trash, really. I think as a general manager you would care for the people under you, you'd care for keeping them safe and making sure not to break their back. But Batista apparently doesn't give a damn. That's all we've learned tonight. Sure, Baron Corbin has been a nuisance, he has been a pain, but Batista just powerbombing Baron Corbin off the top of that Hell in a Cell like that, and then spinebustering him through the top. And he doesn't even have the dignity to go and pin him after that spinebuster through the top. He has to go and hit a Batista bomb afterwards. Well, I think we've seen the true colours of Batista tonight, but we've got to move forward to the next match. Daniel Bryan taking on EC3 for that Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Daniel Bryan looking to get some gold. He's been looking to get gold throughout this entire universe, but it hasn't really worked out for him. He's had a Universal Championship match against Seth Rollins. He came up short. And now tonight going up against EC3 for this Intercontinental Championship. We're going to see, can Daniel Bryan manage finally to get a victory for some goals here in Universe mode. It's going to be an interesting one tonight. I apologise, I'm still shook by that last match and the fact that Baron Corbin has now lost his contract for Monday Night Raw. We are not going to be seeing Baron Corbin again on Monday Night Raw, and well, we may not see him again after the punishment Batista just put upon him. It's not okay. It's not okay what Batista did, but we need to move past it. EC3, our Intercontinental Champion, of course, he managed to beat Braun Strowman to retain this Intercontinental Championship. He won in a little bit of controversial fashion. There was a double pinfall moment. EC3 was pinning Chad Gable, I believe, and Braun Strowman pinning Matt Riddle. Referee counted 3. Both men were doing the pin at the same time, and arbitrarily the referee chose to give the IC Championship to EC3. But EC3 did go on SmackDown defend that championship against Braun Strowman, proving that he is the true Intercontinental Champion. But you got to say, going up against Daniel Bryan tonight, this is going to be a hard challenge for EC3 to hold on to this Intercontinental Championship here tonight. Daniel Bryan, a veteran performer with lots and lots of skills in his pocket. Whether that be big strength moves, whether that be very quick and agile movements around the ring, or whether that be proper technical and power submissions to make you tap out and force you to quit. If Daniel Bryan gets in that yes lock, you got to think this is not going to be looking good for EC3 tonight. EC3 getting the early advantage in this one, taking down Daniel Bryan very quickly. That's kind of what you need to do. You need to be able to take Bryan off his feet and just slow him down, prevent him from being able to get anything going. As soon as Bryan starts working on those limbs of yours, you're going to have issues. And there you go, Bryan getting behind with that double underhook suplex. A big kick to the face of EC3 right there. And now pounding down, working on that leg of EC3. Of course, Daniel Bryan managed to get in this position by beating the former Intercontinental Champion Chad Gable in a #1 contenders match. Managing to make way second roll out there from EC3 on Bryan. 1, 2, only a 1 count there for EC3 very early in this match still. But Daniel Bryan did manage to get into this by tapping out the former Intercontinental Champion. And you got to think that is going to put him in a very strong position here. Chad Gable, well, he was not an easy champion to beat. He was a very devious champion. Lots of cheating and lots of using his coach at ringside to keep him with that gold. But unfortunately for Chad Gable, he has not managed to get his rematch for this Intercontinental Championship, meaning he will not be in a position to get this gold again anytime soon. He's going to have to work his way back up. And wait a second, Bryan catching, managing to get out of that suplex there, that stalling suplex by EC3, getting the reversal, and then Bryan flying into EC3's face. Bryan trying to get himself back into this after EC3 really working down Bryan in the beginning of this match. Bryan getting EC3 back to his feet, and a lariat there. Well, not a lariat, a spinning elbow really, to EC3, and EC3 rolling to the outside, trying to get away from Bryan. But Bryan straight on him again, pulling him back into the ring with a suplex over the ropes, back inside of the squared circle. Bryan getting him back to his feet, and well, we know what this is. His patented yes kicks to EC3 right now. And the final knockout blow to EC3 and Bryan. Bryan looking for that pinfall right now. 1, 2. EC3 somehow still holding on to the Intercontinental Championship right now. Daniel Bryan not able to pin him with that, but Bryan is setting up for it. He's setting up for that knee plus in the corner. Oh no, he's not. I take it back. He was looking for that yes lock. He's got him in the lock. Is EC3 going to tap out to the yes lock right now? Is it going to be enough to put away EC3? EC3 holding on with dear life right now. Can he get out of it? Can he get out of it? Yes, he has. Somehow managing to turn Bryan around and then punching him in the face to force Bryan to release the hold. Wait a second though, EC3 catching him and swinging him down to the mat in brutal fashion. This is how he has put away people for 1, Wait a second, EC3 saying no. He is not going to let it end like this. Okay. EC3 wants to do more damage to Daniel Bryan before putting him away. It's a very bold move from EC3 right there. Very cocky indeed. Trying to go for a big move. I think he was trying to finish this off with his finisher, the top 1%, but Bryan instead managing to reverse, stopping it from happening, and EC3 perhaps regretting his decision right now to hold off on that pinfall attempt. Bryan looking for something up, EC3 managing to push away the arms, getting the punch to the gut, and a roll-up, quick roll-up to Bryan, with Bryan's hand under the ropes, getting the rope break. The referee did see it. EC3 dropping down there, trying to hit a leg drop on Bryan, and now taunting him, taunting over the body of Bryan. Bryan not giving up. Bryan will not give up so easily in this one. Bryan, big kick to the back, but EC3 no selling it, getting straight back up. And now Bryan getting another reversal. Bryan not allowing EC3 to get any moves anymore. He wants to be able to do this. He got that big reversal, and this is a huge opportunity for Daniel Bryan to get some gold here in Universe Mode, and that is what he has been wanting this entire time. Going for the pinfall, 1, 2. Nope, that suplex from the outside was not enough to put away EC3 right now. Bryan needs to get in that yes lock again. EC3 another roll up, 1, 2. No, Daniel Bryan managing to kick out, but no rope break this time in the centre of the ring for EC3. And a huge punch to the back of Bryan, turning around and now throwing him into the corner, kind of discombobulating Bryan. But Bryan managing to move out of the way right now, taking down EC3, but no, EC3 reversing, taking down Bryan instead. And keeping on throwing Bryan towards these corners, EC3. EC3 got him up. But no, Bryan once again reversing the suplex attempt from EC3. Oh, big old kick, just taking EC3 off his knee to the mat. Bryan's got to be looking for something big soon. Wait a second, looking to choke out. A front choke onto EC3 by Daniel Bryan, looking to choke him out right now. Can he do it? Can he put the Intercontinental Champion to sleep, or is EC3 going to be able to get out of it? No, all the strength of EC3 to pull himself back to his feet with Bryan right there. What on earth is EC3 trying to do here, just throwing Bryan around the ring? Now getting him up to his feet, and another roll up from EC3 right now. 1, 2, only a 2 count again for EC3. We've got to be getting near the end now. Come on, one of these guys is going to have to hit a big move soon. Wait a second, EC3 got him up to the top and taking him down with that cutter. Is that going to be enough to put away Daniel Bryan right now? 1, 2, 3, and we still have EC3 as our Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan's dreams of having gold at SummerSlam dashed right now, taken away from him by EC3, and not what I expected. I expected Daniel Bryan to leave here tonight holding that Intercontinental Championship, and I didn't expect him to lose it anytime soon, but EC3 proving himself tonight, proving that he deserves to be the Intercontinental Champion, even though showing his little cocky tendencies by pulling up on that pin with Daniel Bryan, even though he probably had the match won at that point. But he did still get this match won. He managed to escape from a yes lock, and you know, Daniel Bryan managed to lock it in once again. That might have been it for him, but EC3 getting him up on his shoulders and twisting around for that cutter, that was enough to put away Daniel Bryan. And EC3 still your Intercontinental Champion. But now, perhaps the most important match of the night for Raw and Smackdown, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Raw versus Smackdown. Who will get to hold these Women's Tag Team Champions? Will it be the Raw side, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, the Horsewoman? Or will it be the dominant side from SmackDown, Dakota and Nia Jax? If you look at the map, this definitely is looking more likely for the Raw team, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Of course, Shayna, your money in the bank holder, and And both these women have defeated Dakota and Nia. Nia and Dakota invaded Monday Night Raw. Didn't work out too well for them. Ended up with Nia Jax losing to Ronda Rousey, and then Shayna to the invitation to Smackdown and defeated Dakota Kai in the middle of the ring. So it's not looking good for Team Smackdown. But as you can also see, we do have the general managers of Raw and Smackdown out here at ringside. And of course, Shane McMahon out here to support Smackdown. Shane, he's done nothing wrong. He's been a good guy so far. Been a pretty fair general manager. For Batista, he's managed to get back in his regular clothes like nothing happened earlier tonight. And he is still the general manager of Raw, of course, but he is back out here like nothing happened after almost ending a man's career. But hey ho, I'll leave it behind, I'll leave it be. But out comes the dominant force, Nia Jax. Because that's what makes this team work so well, Nia Jax and Dakota Kai. Because Dakota can go in there with the speed, the athleticism, and then Nia Jax comes in there, absolutely dominates them with power, prevents them from being able to get Dakota back in there, hitting that chiropractor, and that usually spells 1-2-3 for their opponents. But Ronda and Shayna, this is going to be a hard one for the SmackDown side to be able to take on tonight. Could this be another stepping stone for Shayna Baszler on the way to becoming the most dominant woman here in Universe mode? With Miss Money in the Bank, you got to think that's going to mean a future Women's Championship for her here in Universe mode. And if she can win those Women's Tag Team titles here tonight, she could be the first woman to hold all of this gold in Universe mode. But you never know, Shayna Baszler. We also do have the Royal Rumble coming up later in the year, and I wouldn't be surprised Shayna Baszler probably a top contender for that Royal Rumble unless she is already a champion by that time. What a year that would be for Shayna Baszler if she could win the inaugural Women's Tag Team Championships, win the first Money in the Bank in Universe mode, win the Raw SmackDown Women's Championship, and also win the first Women's Royal Rumble in Universe mode. What a year that would be for Shayna Baszler, man. She's done 1 out of the 3. 1 out of the 4, I apologise. I wouldn't be surprised to see her do the rest, but Ronda Rousey looked to choke out Dakota, but Dakota managed to drop her with a stunner there. Of course, Ronda Rousey still kind of finding her place here in the Universe mode. Still trying to find her stylings of how she is going to be as a wrestler, as opposed to her MMA background, but it'll be very interesting to see whether she can continue to get on the path to some championship gold. Well, of course, it could be tonight she gets some championship gold, but some singles championship gold. She is another competitor who I would not be surprised getting that championship gold sooner rather than later once she starts to find herself here in Universe mode. Dakota Kai getting the tag into Nia Jax right now. Ronda Rousey crawling over to Shayna Baszler. Shayna and Nia Jax. It's going to be very interesting how these two compare to each other, and Shayna Baszler trying her hardest to get Nia off her feet, but not being able to do it. Now Nia trying to choke Baszler out with a bear hug there. Trying to take all the air out of her. But Baszler, elbows to the face and a big hit to the ears to make Nia dizzy and had to drop Shayna Baszler. But Nia not allowing it to affect her for long, getting straight back into this. Getting Shayna Baszler over the knee of Nia Jax, just stretching her back right now. And then Nia Jax getting Shayna Baszler in position, getting her out for a powerbomb, a huge... Oh, and the way she just drops those powerbombs is always so brutal. She just lets them go. Or at least she isn't doing it from the top of the Hell in the Cell. I apologise. I will stop talking about it. I'm just disgusted by what happened earlier tonight. Dakota Kai getting the tag in, and Shane McMahon looking very happy right now, cheering on his team. Dakota Kai enjoying Shane McMahon's cheers, just hanging on for a second. But now what's she looking for here? Oh, damaging the arm of Shayna Baszler right there. Very clever move from Dakota Kai. Of course, you want to be able to try and prevent Shayna Baszler locking in that Kirifuda clutch, and if you can damage those arms, She is not going to be able to have as tight a grip on the clutch as she may like, which would probably be a lot easier for Dakota or Nia to escape from if she manages to get that Kira through the clutch in. But Shayna getting the hot tag into Ronda Rousey right now, and Rousey running wild. And Dakota looking for the tag, getting the tag into Nia Jax, getting a repeat of the match we had on Monday Night Raw, where Ronda Rousey managed to defeat the huge Nia Jax, the dominant force. Of course, Dakota and Nia have been on a search for gold throughout this entire universe mode. They have been desperate for gold. They have been in pretty much, well, one of them or both of them have been in most of the championship matches we've had in universe mode so far for that Smackdown Women's Championship, and coming up short each and every time, unfortunately for them. But maybe as a tag team they've always been better. They've always done better in a tag team than they have done in singles, and tonight could be the night for them to pick up a huge victory. But Ronda Rousey not willing not to have, and taken down Nia Jax, planting her with so many punches to the face. And you know Ronda Rousey isn't holding back anything with those punches. Ronda taking Nia, throwing her into the corner. What is Ronda thinking of here? Just landing in more of those punches, my goodness, just trapping Nia in the corner and just hitting her with all of those strikes. Really going to discombobulate Nia Jax. Wait a second. Oh, the strength of Ronda Rousey to get Nia Jax up on her shoulder like that. My goodness. Ronda Rousey now with a huge kick to the back of Nia Jax. Wait a second. Oh, Nia Jax is not looking like she's in a good position right now. Things not looking good for Nia Jax. Ronda Rousey really proving herself right now. Managing to put a halt once again to the dominant force of Nia Jax. Nia probably could deal with getting a tag into Dakota Kai right now. Wait a second, chokehold, chokehold. Can she put a sleeper? No, Dakota Kai managing to get in there to break up the sleeper from Ronda Rousey. Now Ronda going in for that tag to Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax really needs to get that tag to Dakota Kai, but Jax just out of it. She is out of it right now, but wait a second, she gets that tag, getting herself back up, getting that hot tag to Dakota Kai, and Dakota taking down Shayna Baszler, going for that pinfall very quickly with that knee. 1, 2, Ronda Rousey back in there in time to break it up. Now Shayna trying to do some damage to Dakota, but Dakota not allowing it to happen. Shayna taking her over. And now Shayna landing this series of punches and kicks, taking it to Dakota, but Dakota managing to catch the kick of Shayna Baszler, catching on her shoulder and ducking underneath. And now the leader of Team Kick showing Shayna Baszler what it's like to take some kicks. The scorpion kick finishing it off to Shayna Baszler, taking her down. Dakota with double stomp to the chest of Shayna Baszler. Things are finally looking up for Dakota Kai and Nia Jax in this one. Shayna rolling to the outside. What is she thinking of here? Taking Dakota down, dropping her back first onto the hardest part of that ring, the ring apron. Shane McMahon. Wait a second, Shane. Shane, what are you doing, buddy? Shane McMahon getting in the face of Shayna Baszler right now, not happy with her actions. You should really stay out of this one, Shane. I don't think Shayna Baszler would have any issue putting a Kira through the clutch in on you. Shayna working down on Dakota now on the outside and now tossing her back in the ring at the 5 count. Shayna picking her up. What is she looking for here? Oh, here we go. One of her signature moves right now is linking. Oh my goodness. The strength that she has to not be able to let go of that move. But Nia Jax gets in there in time to be able to break up the pinfall there. For a second, Shayna got her over the top and now working down the back of Dakota Kai after slamming her on the back, putting her knee straight into the back of Dakota Kai. Now Shayna just staring down at Dakota. Staring at her, just being like, you're my prey. You're my prey, it doesn't matter. I can end you whenever I want. maybe playing with her food is going to be something that Shayna Baszler might regret at the end of this, but who knows? It's going to be interesting whether Dakota and Nia can be able to get back. So this has been a pretty dominant force from Ronda and Shayna. Nia Jax getting that sneaky tag into Dakota Kai while she was in the corner. But Shayna Baszler now kicking to the leg of Nia Jax, wanting to continue to keep her off her feet. Shayna very cocky there, kissing goodnight to Nia Jax. Oh, a huge chop to the chest there. Oh, and another one. Wait a second. She kissed goodbye, and while this could well be it, the Kira through the clutch. Kira through the clutch is locked in. Is Nia Jax going to tap? And no, Dakota Kai just there in time, managing to get back to her senses to be able to break up the Kira through the clutch. I think Shayna might be looking to lock it in again, but Nia Jax managed to block it this time. Shayna, they get in the reversal, preventing Nia from hitting whatever big move she's looking for. Wait a second, Nia. Is she going to be looking for it? Is she going to be looking for that leg drop? No, she's not. Oh, just slamming Shayna down twice in a row now. And there it is. There's that leg drop of Nia Jax onto Shayna Baszler. A huge leg drop of Nia Jax. And I'm going for the pinfall over Shayna Baszler. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Shayna Baszler managing to get out of it. Ronda Rousey not even... She got in the ring but not getting close to the pinfall. Just thinking, Shayna can do it. Bit too cocky there from the horsewoman perhaps. Shayna looking for Nia looking for a big move. Shayna reversing, getting the knee to the face of Nia Jax. This would be a huge upset if Shayna manages to lose as much. She's the pin, Miss Money in the Bank. This isn't going to be good for her. Big double team move, dropping a double body drop there to Shayna Baszler from Nia and Dakota. 1, 2, 2 only for Dakota Kai. Shayna Baszler not giving up this easily. But Shayna could really use that tag. She could use that tag desperately right now. Dakota got Shayna in the corner and looking to show Shayna who is the leader of Team Kick, taking down Baszler with that huge kick right there, and now continuing to work on the face of Shayna Baszler. And Dakota looking for that pinfall, going for that pinfall over Shayna Baszler right now, and the ref 1. No, Ronda Rousey managed to get there in time to break it up, but now Nia Jax punching to the face of Ronda, and Dakota's calling for it. She is calling for that chiropractor to Shayna Baszler. She hits it. Is that going to be it? Ronda Rousey getting back to her feet. 1, 2, 3. Dakota Kai and Nia Jax are your new women's tag team champions. And Dakota Kai managing to pin Miss Money in the Bank Shayna Baszler. My goodness, it did not look like it was going to go that way. It really looked like Shayna and Ronda had this match won. But somehow, Dakota Kai and Nia Jax, the Smackdown team, managing to get the big, huge victory here tonight to become the first ever women's tag team champions here in Universe Mode. And Shane McMahon is going to be a very happy man indeed. In Shane we trust. And Shane has brought Smackdown the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and finally Dakota and Nia getting some gold around their waist. You got to think what's going to be going through the mind of Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey after that big loss. And you got to think Batista, he ain't going to be too happy either to lose something to SmackDown. He wants to prove that Raw is the dominant brand. But onto our main event tonight, and this one is very, very personal indeed. And now I know he isn't coming out with that WWE Championship, but Sami Zayn right here, he is your WWE Champion. He beat AJ Styles for that WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. But the thing that happened, the despicable thing that happened, his best friend Kevin Owens, his former tag team champion, they are former Raw tag team champions. Kevin Owens had enough of his friend getting all the success in the world and Kevin not being able to get it. Kevin Owens even took on Baron Corbin for Sami Zayn, ended up losing. He has been the second fiddle to Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens feeling that He's the only reason they held those Raw Tag Team Champions. He did all the work. Sami was only there for the singles stuff and the glory. And decided he'd had enough of Sami Zayn, taking him out, destroying him with a powerbomb onto the ring apron and stealing the WWE Championship. As you can see right now, Kevin Owens holding that belt that is not rightfully his. But you gotta wonder what shape Sami Zayn goes into this like. Oh, I just saw him on the outside and look at that rib tape. He is covered in tape all over him. His ribs are in a bad way off that powerbomb into the apron. But Sami Zayn is here tonight. He's here to defend that WWE Championship and get back his belt that Kevin Owens stole from him.
From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds.
I see. Kevin Owens has paid off bribing, well, probably threatening more likely. Threatening our ring announcer there to call Sami Zayn the challenger and Kevin Owens the champion. Utterly ridiculous stuff there. Kevin Owens is not your champion. He is not the WWE champion, but by the end of tonight he could well be your official WWE champion. Just because he's got the belt does not mean anything. Now this is going to be a brutal affair between these two. Kevin Owens staring down that belt, not wanting to give it up. And Sami, yep, that is my belt, says Sami Zayn. But this isn't about the championship here tonight. This is about friendship. This is about animosity between these two men. Sami Zayn looking to get his vengeance on the man who turned on him. The friend who betrayed him. His best friend who had turned on him. I'm getting things started with some big punches from Sami Zayn to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens not wanting to go down. Bridging suplex there to Kevin Owens, taking him off, so Kevin rolling to the outside. And then Kevin now taking advantage of big suplex back to Sami, taking him off his feet. And you've got to know any move that Kevin Owens hits to those back, all those ribs of Sami Zayn, they're going to be doubly doing damage with the potentially broken ribs that Sami Zayn has after the attack from Kevin Owens onto that apron, the powerbomb onto the apron by Kevin Owens. Right, so what is Kevin looking for? We're going to the top very early with Sami. Oh my goodness, come on now. Huge top rope suplex. A superplex to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens so early in the match. Onto those back and the ribs of Sami Zayn. And Kevin Owens almost had the match won there. My goodness, that was so close to a 3 count and we've only just started this thing. That shows the condition, the count 7 that Sami Zayn's going into this match in. If I was Sami Zayn, I would be concerned right now. Accidentally taking out the ref there. Sami, though, being dodged by Kevin Owens. I know these two in a bit of a chain right now. Raising Sami over the top, taking down Kevin Owens with that sunset flip. Now getting Kevin back up to his feet and throwing him into the corner once again. And this time managing to hit the huge elbow into the corner onto Kevin Owens. And now Sami going to the top. What is he looking for here? Just dropping down on him. 1, 2. Only a 2 count there for Sami. Perhaps not the best idea to go for that kind of move though, because that was ribs first onto Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn putting his own body at risk right now. And taking down Kevin with a suplex there. And now landing a big punch to the face, but Kevin reversing, punching back. And this time Kevin with a sunset flip onto Sami Zayn. Sunset flip powerbomb, I should say. Sami catching below Kevin Owens. A huge lariat there from Sami. And Sami looking down for a second. Perhaps thinking that this is his best friend. Does he really want to be doing this with his best friend? Going to war with your closest friend who betrayed you is not really ideal. And Kevin Owens getting a cheap shot to those ribs of Sami Zayn, those injured ribs of Sami. Sami though going for a roll up, and Kevin 1, 2. Kevin Owens rolling through 1, 2. Sami Zayn managing to kick out right there on a 2 count. Whereas then Kevin got Sami up on his shoulders. And dropping him down onto those ribs once again is Kevin Owens. He really has a target in mind for this one. Wait a second, what's Kevin looking for here? Oh, an assisted DDT from the second rope onto Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens really not taking things lightly on his former best friend. Sami though dropping Kevin Owens down there. And a big suplex there from Sami Zayn. And laying in the kick. And wait a second, the Koji clutch. Yes, it is. The Koji clutch is. Kevin Owens going to be forced to tap out right here to the Koji clutch from Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens holding on for dear life right now. Holding on for that championship belt. And Sami Zayn looking to choke him out. But Kevin Owens getting out of it, getting the big elbow to the face of Sami Zayn, looking for a pinfall. Perhaps hoping he knocked out the former champion. Well, the current champion, I should say. He's not a former champion. That's because Kevin Owens thinks he's a former champion. Doesn't mean he's a former champion just yet. Kevin Owens going for a kick to the gut, but Sami catching it once again. Wait a second. Kevin, no. Kevin, pop up powerbomb, middle of the ring. 1, 2. Oh, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn still just managing to hold on after that pop-up powerbomb from Kevin Owens right there. Sami Zayn, roll up. Roll up to Kevin Owens, but into the ropes. Too close to the ropes there. Wait a second, Sami Zayn again, rolling him up again. Sami Zayn, 2? No, only a 2 count there for Sami. I don't think Sami wants to hurt his friend. I think as much as he wants this to be over, I don't think Sami wants to. He still has love for Kevin Owens. He still cares for him. He's still his friend, even though what Kevin Owens has done, and I think that shows. And Sami Zayn going for these roll-ups constantly. Thought he was going to go for that haluva kick there, but no. Kevin Owens managed to dodge out of the way and then countering with a sunset flip powerbomb to Sami Zayn once again. A continual work to the back and ribs of Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens throwing Sami into the ropes. I thought potentially we could have seen another pop out there from Kevin Owens. I apologise. Now Kevin Owens getting him up, but Sami Zayn getting over the shoulder, managing to reverse it and dropping down Kevin Owens with a huge DDT there. Sami Owens taking a moment to get himself back to his senses. And now taking up Kevin Owens. What is he thinking of here? Throwing him into the corner. Is he looking for that haluva kick right now? Wait a second, no, he's not. He's looking for that suplex into the corner, that exploder suplex into the bottom turnbuckle right there. Wait a second, into the corner. Is this going to be it? Is this going to be the haluva kick from Sami? Sami shouting out to the crowd before he does it. Shouting out, I am your WWE champion. And haluva kick, but no. He left it too long. Kevin Owens getting the reverse and then kicking to the leg of Sami Zayn. Kevin looking to hit a stunner or a powerbomb there a little low with the kick he was going for, but Sami managing to utter a punch to the face to Kevin Owens. And now Sami throwing Kevin Owens over the ropes. And a stunner of his own, using those ropes as assisted power onto Kevin Owens. And now Sami up to the top and a senton to Kevin Owens on the outside, but Kevin managing to get his knees up, doing even more damage to the back and ribs of Sami. Sami back in the ring while Kevin Owens is lying on the outside. Sami beckoning him back in, just waiting for him to get back in. Wait a second, what is Sami thinking here? Another one, but this time again Kevin gets his knees up. Sami, what are you thinking? Sami just damaging his own back and ribs without even thinking about it. I understand this is personal, but my goodness. Sami and Kevin back in the ring together. One big move and this is going to be it, you know it. Wait a second, Kevin in the corner. Is Sami going to do it? Wait a second, I know what this is. This is going to be huge from Sami Zayn. Through the middle into a swinging DDT onto Kevin Owens. Beautiful stuff. Threading the needle like that for Sami Zayn and then dropping Kevin Owens' head onto the outside. Very nice stuff indeed there from Sami Zayn, taking down Kevin Owens, pulling out everything in his arsenal to be able to put down his best friend. Huge offense from Sami Zayn. Now Sami needing to get Kevin in the ring. He needs to get him in there if he wants to be able to do something else. But Kevin getting the reversal. Kevin's still got his senses to him. Sami though, Sami reversing, Sami preventing whatever Kevin was looking for there. Getting a huge reversal right there. Now Sami getting Kevin back up to his feet. Tossing him into the corner. Is this going to be it? Haluva kick! Is that enough? Is that enough to put away Sami Zayn's former best friend Kevin Owens? 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is still your WWE champion. Getting his belt back tonight is Sami Zayn. Getting back that WWE championship, and that has got to mean a lot for Sami Zayn to be able to get back that championship belt and managing to beat his former best friend Kevin Owens here tonight. Even though Kevin did not show any kind of resistance here. He took it to Sami, going for those ribs, going for the back. He did not care about the welfare of his former best friend. Just wanting that WWE championship, wanting to cause pain to Sami Zayn. And sure, Sami may have won tonight, but I do not think this is going to be over between the two of them. Here is your winner. Sami Zayn getting his WWE championship back here tonight, and that has got to mean a lot for Sami Zayn here tonight, doesn't it? He holds that championship. Wait a second. Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre, Mr. Money in the Bank is here. Is he cashing in? Is he cashing in? Yes, he is. We have a cash in here right now. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on Sami Zayn, who is already injured by Kevin Owens. His ribs destroyed by Kevin Owens. And Drew McIntyre taking down straight away with a huge headbutt to Sami Zayn. And taking... Oh my goodness, we're going to have a new WWE champion. Drew McIntyre is going to be champion. And here it is. He is calling for the end. He is calling for the end. He is calling for that Claymore kick. Claymore to Sami Zayn. And do we have a new champion? 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre cashes in his Money in the Bank contract to become the new WWE champion. My goodness, well, you've got to tune into Monday Night Raw to see what is going to happen from here. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what your favourite match on SummerSlam was, and be back for Monday Night Raw. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.